Hey guys, hope you're well. Want to give you a quick update about Danny's case, and if you want to support him, he has a GoFundMe and all that jazz because he's in good hands with Dorothy Gibbons White, obviously the attorney who represented Streets LA in his successful case preventing a TRO from Joey. So today, Kendrick Moxon, I was missing him yesterday. Luckily, he did show up today. As for a point of clarification, guys, a lot of you remarked, why would Moxon show up if the prosecutor against Josiah is the one making the effort? Well, you know, you could certainly show up to advise, even if you are not legally involved in the case. You could show up, you could watch proceedings, you could speak with someone you're interested in after the court case. So he could have certainly done all that and probably quite a bit more. But he did not show up yesterday. He did show up today. And he showed up with Philip Campos. Just a quick rundown of the case, which you guys probably already know. This is all about Danny was essentially, it all boils down to the apparent scooter assault. And Danny was trying to get out of the way, and video shows that. Campos is claiming quite the opposite, that Danny assaulted him. So the big argument, well, one of the things that they were wondering about today is, can video evidence be shown? Moxon only wanted his side to be shown, which was a collection or just one or two videos that were very heavily edited. They were posted on Vimeo, and they had all these edits on them, which perhaps might create some sort of biased viewpoint, or at least some sort of cloudy viewpoint, if you really tried to look at the case. Luckily, today it appears, or it's been decided, that pure, unadulterated, unedited video can be submitted. So instead of a 20-second clip, Danny's entire 5-hour stream will be submitted. Moxon has tried to do two interesting things. One is compel 86 GOP to testify. Of course, we all know our favorite 86 GOP. To his credit, he was asked to testify willingly, and he did not show up and did not really want to get involved. So, just as everybody say 86 GOP has ill intentions, he could have shown up with Moxon and made things worse for Danny. He did not do so. So, just some interesting food for thought. Make your own conclusions about that situation. But of course, Moxon wants to depose 86 GOP for two reasons. One, because in a chat he threatened to kill Moxon. Of course, he's trying to use that in DOA's case. In this situation, it's 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, guys. It's so disconnected. It's impressive he's even trying to do it. But what he's trying to do is say that because 86 GOP said that, even in a different chat, Moxon's claiming that 86 GOP paid the attorney fees for Danny, and therefore his comments about Moxon are relevant and create a biasness, I suppose, in this case. The thing is, what's been proven, what we all know, is that yes, 86 GOP directly hired the first attorney who was trying to convince Danny to plea. After DOA and Streets LA intervened and felt like this was not an adequate attorney that GOP directly paid for, whether that was GOP's intentions was to get him a bad attorney or 86 GOP just found the wrong attorney. Again, you make your own conclusions. But that money was not used by 86 GOP. He gave perhaps an initial retainer fee, probably got that back, or maybe some of the retainer fee was used for that initial hearing, and then that's about it. So maybe $1,000 was used, and it's either that was taken, but they have no relevance in the case because they're not representing Danny, so it doesn't matter, or none of it was used. I don't know. But that's the claim he's trying to make, and it's so disconnected. It is a bit of a stretch, if you ask me. Now, the last thing that the last thing that Kendrick Moxon was trying to do, and he kind of gave a little bit of a hiccup, is he wanted to try to get a settlement conference. And he wanted to try to get a settlement conference, meaning there'd be no trial, and each party would negotiate a deal. Now, Dorothy Gibbons White has indicated that she feels like this is a frivolous case, and she doesn't want to do any semblance of any type of settlement. But Moxon has certainly tried that. What that shows is that Moxon believes that the judge is not going to rule in his favor. And I'm going to try to get you the judge's name if I wrote it down. Yes. And so we have a new judge, by the way. And the judge's name is Elizabeth Scully, Scully. Elizabeth Scully is the new judge. And he obviously feels if you're going to try to do a settlement conference, that means you don't feel like there's a lot of there and that you're going to lose the case. He initially tried to get the settlement conference early on and said there was some urgency for it because of this relevance. The judge rejected that motion. He's still trying to get the settlement conference. And speaking of timeliness, 86 GOP, he was trying to get 86 GOP also in deposition and claimed the urgency clause to that. That was also rejected. Ironically, the scheduled deposition, if he is allowed to force him to give a deposition, which I don't think he'll be able to do, that's been scheduled for a day after the trial, guys. That literally the day after the trial. So you think if Moxon was smarter and he wanted more time, and there's this potential allowable date to do the next deposition, it can't be before that potential date, I don't think. You think he'd ask for an extension of the trial. He did not do that. So you see the competency of Moxon. And I will say, I think that the attorney for Streets LA, a different gentleman, who I always say looks like Jim Rash in Community, he, and sounds like him, he seems to be a more competent, better attorney. I don't know why Moxon didn't try to extend the court date. So if he gets his wish, it will all be irrelevant. Now, granted, if Moxon gets to pose 86 GOP, he could use him for DOA's case as well. It's not really relevant to Dorothy Gibbons White or what she cares about, but perhaps there'd still be a point to that. So that's been a big thing. He also wants to amend his witness list. We don't know who he wants to be on his witness list. On Danny's witness list is Leah, Kelly, and Mindy. So the three protesters who were there, those are the people on the list on Danny's side. But it's hard to figure out who's going to be on the list from Moxon's side, if there's really much at all. But that's been the kit and caboodle. Moxon looks like he's losing both ways with both efforts in terms of getting a settlement conference and in terms of forcing 86 GOP to testify. Now, he could make some other claims that there is a new sense of urgency, so he could try to get it yet again, but it's not looking good. And the judge did say that the unadulterated video is okay. Moxon was trying to stop the unedited, unadulterated video from also being in evidence. He was not successful in doing that. The judge ruled that, so that's kind of the big news of the day. The judge ruled that is completely applicable. So again, guys, I keep coming to you every day with good news after good news. Josiah looks great, and this one looks very good too. I give this a higher percentage of winning than Josiah. It's not going to be dismissed. I give a higher percentage of winning. I'm going to say 90%. I think Streets LA was a formidable opponent. The attorney against Streets LA for Joey was a formidable opponent. I don't know if Moxon's that formidable. I've seen DOA go toe-to-toe with him, and he's been very effective. So that is the rub. Sorry I don't have a jacket today. My dog bit off my jacket button, so that was a bummer. But hope you're enjoying it, and if you want to support Danny, please consider doing so. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.